We are the tea fairies.
What?
We are the tea fairies. No. You can start. What's your name? And your number.
Who are you?
Who are you?
Why are you here?
Now pour tea.
Tea fairy number 3. My name is Till. I'm from Germany. I'm intern number 175, and I'm here to immerse myself in Japanese culture and Japanese tea. That's why I'm here.
Beautiful.
Beautiful. Great pouring as well, John.
So good.
Spencer?
I am Spencer. I am from Oregon, the United States. I'm intern 174, and I am here as well to learn about Japanese tea and be exposed to the beautiful town of Wazuka and the beautiful people of Obubu-san. Yes.
Well said, well said. Hi, I'm Amanda. I am intern 173. I'm from Singapore, and I'm here to learn more about tea.
I'm Jordan. I'm from America, Washington State, and I'm intern 172. And I am here to learn about Japanese culture, and Japanese culture is surrounded around tea.
Is this the traditional way of
We're not
brewing
going to
tea?
cut this out.
No, I think you can have where it goes to like the blank screen where it's like technical difficulties. You can edit that in.
Yeah, we have a bit of
just put
technical
problem. Just put a little bit of that back in there, and it's all.
It's alright, we got the bowl. We got the bowl. We got the bowl. Put it in the bowl.
What do we say at Obubu? Many things happen, right?
No?
Daijoubu. Daijoubu desu.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Well, you all get stems.
I love stems.
Extra fiber.
Extra fiber.
And some leaves.
And some leaves.
They're about the same.
I mean, it looks great, doesn't it?
Look at Ruby.
Oh.
Cheers.
No.
Kanpai!
Kanpai. Wait.
Kanpai!
You should cross our arms when come. No.
Kanpai! Oh.
Kanpai. And then must look each other in the eye.
Kanpai!
First stem. Very good.
Yep. I got a leaf and
I was
a
worried
small-
about
few
your
small
guys'
pieces of
fiber
stem.
intake.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jordan.
Very considerate of you.
Yeah.
Mm.
You're such a caring person.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't be alive if it weren't for you.
But what you can actually see is what is it called? The
Oh yeah.
outside?
It's not yanagi.
Is? Yeah.
No, yanagi is the leaves. Then you
Oh.
have cookie, and then there's something else.
It has 3 letters. That's all I know.
Oh, I know there's uki and kona, which is not those two. The funny thing is, I remember all of them except the one that you're asking about.
Question.
Hmm.
We tried the plain bancha with the first time, which was I've never had before. It was interesting.
Yeah. I mean, I had it before, but it was a pack that was half oxidized. So, and it was from the Magic House. Fun
Is that
facts.
bothering you a little bit?
What?
The leaf on top.
I mean,
Not anymore.
Not anymore. You fixed it.
I feel like it has. I'm gonna sound ridiculous. I feel like it has more of a fiery flavor.
It does.
I feel like it has more fire.
and more,
I don't know what that means.
That's why it's
more
called ruby.
nuances in general. Like there's more flavor in there, but the question is what it will be in a few weeks.
Yeah, it could
Like,
dull or enhance. I should take some of
It
this
might
one.
flatten out.
Yeah, I should also write some notes. I do think I like this more now that it's rested for about a day. Although I can't say why.
It's sorry.
It is warm.
Sorry for the body odor.
It's alright.
I feel like we're just used to it now at this point.
Oh.
It's good.
Mm-hmm.
It smells like deodorant, actually, or whatever.
What did
So-
you guys do today?
Nothing.
Nothing.
Sniff
You just
people.
chilled.
No.
That's nice.
Various things.
You guys were inside. Well, you went farming,
Yeah.
framing.
I went to our model.
You went framing today.
Framing, as we call it.
I did tiring things today.
Mm-hmm.
T-tour.
Filming.
Did you film the T-tour? That's what you did?
Both. Did the AM presentation, which was kind of unusual because the presentation was changed.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I was not reading everything, and then I was like very confused why things have been cut out or taken out.
Ah, so they updated the slides.
Yeah. Second brew.
Second brew.
Second brew.
How many brews did you guys have this morning of this? I don't even know if I had
Only
it. I've
that
never
was
had a
the
second brew
one.
of this.
We only had the second brew, which was probably good because then the very roasted, fiery flavor is not so
You
strong.
didn't wash off.
Wheel,
Wheel, wheel, wheel.
wheel, wheel, wheel.
Favorite Obubu quote?
Favorite Obubu quote.
My favorite quote is
Favorite Obubu quote
Obubu.
from the Japanese staff
Any.
or from everybody.
Anyone. Just like what are like the slogans basically that we say here. Like any quote.
Catchphrase.
Catchphrase.
Obubu catchphrase.
Yeah. I think, as you
Like-
know, many things happen.
Many things happen.
Is mine.
Please enjoy.
Who started
Things
that
happen.
quote,
I
actually?
think it's Hiro-san.
Hiro-san. Many things, as you know, many
As you
things
know.
happen.
It's when,
Please enjoy.
yeah.
I feel like in the beginning it was no pressure, no pressure. When I was like the most under pressure with the first few tea tours, that was what I constantly
Heard.
busted out, and now it probably has changed.
Two.
Ruby just likes to, get in on the action.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, I didn't even get any in this
Well,
time.
Well, that's one way to
Views
empty
are
the
much-
QC.
I mean, I told you to empty the kisser, right?
Well, I did. I was thinking.
What am I saying lately? Besides whale, whale, whale.
What you say lately?
Yeah.
You just scream randomly, actually. The other day you opened the window in the office and screamed outside.
That's true.
I mean, that was after a few hours of reading scientific papers on L-theanine and polyphenols in tea.
So that scream wasn't directed at anyone. It was just
Yeah, he wasn't
Directed at the world. That's what it was.
And
just
then-
being released out of the office.
This, when we were setting up for this video, you screamed in a bag.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Screamed into a bag.
Yeah. He did.
Yeah. Why would you not do that?
Oh, sorry.
That tends to remind me of Lucky
Put it on the
Stuff.
floor and we can clean it up afterwards too.
Ah, party people.
Yeah, that's true. You call us party people a lot as well. Party people.
Oh, do we have quotes from ourselves?
How about nicknames?
You
actually?
say arms.
Nicknames.
My arms. And then,
My arms. And hair.
my hair.
Yeah.
What about wah?
Wow.
Ah. What about
That
that?
happens a lot. I don't
What
know. It hasn't
does-
happened as
That
much.
that happens.
Do I have a catchphrase? You do say party people. people a lot.
Party people. Or wheel.
Yeah, the whale.
Ah. Like Aki-san. Or shiny boys.
Oh yeah,
Sweaty
the shiny boys.
No. No.
Favorite Till nickname?
Till nickname rapid fire. Go.
Bushman.
Ikemen.
You come in.
Beard Papa.
Beetle papa. Beetle.
Beardo. Papa.
Spencer. Rapid fire. Say one.
Tillium? Tillicum?
I think I only have one nickname. That's J-Dog, right?
J-Dog.
I think that's the only nickname. And T-Fairy number 1, but...
And T-Fairy number 1, but
But
you know.
Yeah, I think that's basically it.
I call you AM.
Nobody else calls me. I mean,
No.
nobody really uses it.
No one else calls me J-Dog.
I mean, Jason did call you Jordy. So you
Jordy.
do have Jordy.
That is original nickname.
It's a good one.
They do call me Mother now, which is kind of weird.
That's not weird at all.
It's
kind
not
of
weird
weird.
at all, no.
You can see the vibes matching, right?
It's
with
not
the nickname.
extremely weird at all.
She exactly looked like an American mother yesterday. Apron on,
Making apple pie.
making
And
apple
mac
pie,
and
giving
cheese.
us pieces to eat.
Telling the children what to do, set the table.
The children.
Yeah, the children.
I did make you great cheese.
And for Spencer, we have Supensa. We also have Shiny Boy.
Shiny boy.
Shiny boys.
Spencer.
Cream puffs. Cream puffs.
Cream puffs or Eclair?
Cream puffs or eclairs.
Cream puff.
Cream Puff!
Till?
You were mental.
What's happening?
I'm looking for the nicknames.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh, you have a list.
Is that an
Okay,
Excel file?
Tell us all your
Please.
nicknames and
No.
the stories
No.
behind it.
Wait,
I was looking for Spencer's other nicknames.
does he?
The second one is I don't know the context anymore, but there was a good context for that.
What is the nickname, Till?
The
Read it
ladies'
out.
boy.
The ladies' boy.
No, not that.
The ladies' boy?
The neat man. I
The
don't know how
what
that
man?
came about. What we forgot was Uncle Spence.
Uncle
That's the
Spence.
best one.
Uncle Spence.
I'll take
Uncle Spence.
that. I'll take that.
And
What's
the
your
man
favorite
is
nickname?
just chef.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Oh.
I was
Yeah.
called the Oracle of Sakura Room.
Do you not have any nicknames for me?
Do I have any?
On his little sheet, is my name not on there? Till's like,
Wait.
Wow.
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 I
we
sense
Wow.
favoritism.
Wow.
Just a little bit.
After all that
You
mac and
didn't
cheese.
answer cream puff or eclair?
The right eclair. So
The
it's-
right eclair.
So it has
Right
to be
eclair.
from that, whatever that supermarket is called.
Lawson's?
No, the
Plant?
Camo one.
Oh, Food Factory?
Yeah.
Food Factory.
It has to be the eclair that has egg custard and cream.
Wow.
And it's dipped in
I
chocolate.
love how
And
you
it's
know exactly
completely
where to buy it.
submerged in chocolate.
Do you know the price?
I have no idea, like
Affordable.
168 yen or something.
Money is not of importance
It's
to
not
Till, you know.
important
He has
when
an
it comes
endless
to cream
supply
puffs.
of cash just for eclairs. Just for
We do have
Nice.
a jar in our house for eclair and cream
You should
puff.
donate.
Lost
to
100
the-
yen coins, but it hasn't been increasing recently.
No, because I think people
Yeah.
are more careful with their money.
Now that it's going into a jar.
Now that
They've
it's
seen the
where I have to
jar.
collect.
It's actually collecting all the lost coins. Gotta watch my back.
Spencer, did you answer? Claire,
Cream
cream
puffs,
puff?
soy eclairs.
Dun, dun, dun.
We can't right now.
I mean, it's better with chocolate. Let's be honest.
Okay.
If you have the option of pastry
Different
plus
thing.
cream plus custard minus chocolate, well, who's gonna why?
Huh?
I feel like if it's refrigerated, which it should be refrigerated, then you have an added texture. You've got the pastry is one texture,
The cream.
the cream is one texture, the custard is slightly more thick, and then the chocolate is
On the right ones is even crunchy.
yes. Yes.
We should have gotten some, I guess.
We should have had
Should
cream
have
puffs.
gone cream puffs.
Or
Day
eclairs.
without cream puffs is no good day.
We can still go and get some.
What's
cream
the
puffs.
best tea that pairs with cream puffs? Do you
Oh.
know this?
Or eclairs. More important.
I think wakucha or a hojicha.
You have to devour a cream puff or an eclair just like it is.
Just by
Just
itself.
as
You
it's
don't
just
pair
plain.
it with anything.
You don't pair it. You have to appreciate it.
Okay, then what would you wash it down with? What would you
After
wash
you
it
eat
down
it, what
with?
would you drink?
You
I would.
keep the aftertaste.
Oh, matcha would be good too.
I think matcha is the best thing to pair with sweets, especially chocolate.
That is true.
I like that
Thoughts,
idea.
feelings.
Yeah.
Matcha.
I don't know. I feel like I would not go with matcha because I find it a little bit more like kind of like rough on the throat to some extent. I mean, of course you can whisk it and make it smooth, but it feels a bit more dehydrating compared to
You're making
steeped
matcha,
tea.
I guess.
So
But it's
I
thicker.
But like
yeah,
the green
so
taste.
I kind of like probably a steeped tea instead with.
Like a cabose or something. Like,
I think something that has more cutting power,
Yeah, I would.
like a sencha that's brewed a little bit hot.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Or like maybe take like a sencha of the summer sun, brewed a bit strong.
I don't think I even had that as like a normal drink here.
What's this?
I've had it as a cold brew though, or brightness. I think brightness could do well as a
You're warm,
after cream puff.
Brightness.
How come?
I'd say
Brightness.
I'm sweating like some kind of farm animal.
Well, we are on a farm.
Can
We are
Can
animals.
we finally make light one now, please?
That's what he's doing. Brightness is would be a good pairing with sweets. If you didn't want matcha or something like that.
I'd go wind.
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 No, brightness or wind. No, you're totally right. Brightness would be great.
Yeah,
I would always pick
I don't
brightness.
know.
I love wind, but brightness is my favorite, so I would pick brightness. But wind is a close. It's in there.
You said sencha of the spring sun is your second favorite.
Do the palate cleanser.
So wind must be further down the line then.
It could be third. It's not, but it could be.
So it's not third, it's fourth. Maybe even
Yeah, 'cause
fifth.
This smells like fruity cereal.
Ooh, fruity pebbles.
Yeah, like fruity
Yeah.
pebbles.
Yeah, actually I
or-
thought that when I smelled one of the.
This one's not the cereal one.
No, this isn't.
This is not cornflakes. We
But I
didn't
feel
name
like-
this one. This one is a no.
I feel like hojicha has like a cereal, like a hot cereal smell to it, and then this is. I didn't have it.
I'm sorry.
I was like,
The heat is getting to me, okay? What can I say?
The heat has gotten to me. Oh,
It's Karasu-san.
crazy bro.
Have you seen like the Karasu-san in the Sumada? The famous crow?
The famous crow. Why are you pouring so much?
Because.
It's half the Kyuzu.
Because I can.
Okay. The famous crow. Have you guys met him?
I've seen it in action.
We always communicate.
You do.
Another-
You talk
I'm
to
like-
the crow. I just fake like I throw things at it so it leaves my stuff alone.
I mean, I just like I think I've only seen it once,
Danger.
and that was the time when it hijacked Aki-san's.
We need to rinse that out.
Oh, do we? Okay. And that was the time it hijacked Aki-san's car for snacks. Yay, team effort.
Not stiller.
Look at that. Amazing.
Beautiful.
Favorite tea to brew.
Favorite tea to brew?
Yeah.
In general, or is that an Obubu question?
Just in, like, what's your favorite tea to brew? Or the one you know will be like the best every time you brew it, because the way you brew it.
Oh, I definitely don't have
You don't have one?
best tea to brew.
I feel like with every tea, it takes for me usually when I'm doing that at home, it takes me like 25 grams of that tea to really dial in on the times and the temperature, and after that I can say, well, every time it's good now. But before that, since we have so many teas, I couldn't do that with
Ooh.
any of them.
I got like hot sauce. No way. Oh,
I did get some pepper notes from the. It just reminds me of Hiro-san when he brings the pitcher to the guests and it's hot and it's like ah. Not actually hot. It's room temperature.
Sorry.
Grab the handle. Don't
Okay.
grab the.
You gotta hand it pain first. That's the test.
I love
Pain
when
first.
No. Grab the handle. Take care of yourself. It does have very corn flavor. Corn smell, not flavor.
You guys have had enough corn.
I haven't had enough corn, okay?
You guys
I've
had
been
a
deprived
corn
of
OD.
corn.
it kind of does smell like sweet corn.
Sweet corn,
I feel like I'm late to answering the brewing question.
There's no such thing as being late.
Sencha.
Sencha.
Brightness and wind. Those are the ones that I brewed the most.
Yeah.
And I think that because Japanese tea is, I think I had the impression that Japanese tea is very volatile, and I was like afraid to kind of like push it a little bit, and then now it's like, it's almost like when I feel that feeling of like being like, oh, this is too much, like that's like the sweet spot. So
Yeah.
do it like just a little bit hotter than what feels like comfortable for your hand, where I'm like, that's probably too hot. That's when I add it. And then I brew it, like start pouring at 40 seconds for first infusion. And then for second infusion, just a little bit hotter than the first one, and start pouring at 60 seconds. And every time I just get just a hint of bitter, just a hint of astringent, and then so much fruit, so much vegetal, so much floral, like all of the things that you want.
Yeah.
It's something I had to learn, or I was forced to learn. Since at home I use a thermometer and I use a watch to really be precise. Here I learned that like every tea you can just take a picture, or like, okay, no, it's good. And actually, I like that style of brewing much better than using a thermometer, because it's much more intuitive, and
You trust yourself a little bit
Yeah.
more as well.
and at some point you get so good that you can actually judge the
I kind of
temperature
want
to
to
like 10 degrees.
test us
That would be fun.
and see if it's correct. You know, we could be really off, but it might be cool. That's how we brew tea, so we like it how it is, but know what temperature we're actually brewing it at.
But then again, all that matters is if you like the tea.
Yeah,
Right.
if you enjoy the tea, that's what.
This is really tasty.
It is. I
tried
actually
that before.
like this one now that
think
it's
I like
rested
it.
for
I
2
was
days
like
now? This
10
one?
degrees or 15 degrees off all the time.
One?
Because the vessel that you have it in is just much hotter than the water. That's deceiving all the time. so it's not a good method.
Yeah, I've noticed that. So it's been a bit challenging for me to kind of like feel it through the glass pitcher sometimes.
Honestly, it's just like
It's just pure.
it's what
intuition.
you want your tea. You will know what, like, to our 70 that we fill in our hands, we're gonna know the fill of it, but it may not be 70. It's just like a thermostat for the Hojicha machine. It may not be correct, but it is
Equally incorrect
Yes.
every time.
every time. So it's be fine to brew the tea that way every single time, because you like it that way.
I'll take it.
I mean, maybe that's also where, because like Miko was mentioning that she goes by the sound of the water instead. That's where it can be a little bit more accurate, because the water does sound different when you pour it at different temperatures.
That's some next level.
You
Some
have to
next
train
level.
your ears a little bit.
I mean, one other thing I also started noticing was like the sound of the water in the chagama as well, when you're like heating the water in the chagama. Because there are times when it sounds like a pretty violent boil actually. And apparently there are whole books that talk about the different sounds of water in the chagama. And they have some recommendations for certain sounds actually. It's interesting.
That's true.
Interesting.
I actually have a question that I'm interested to hear your answers on. Like, what were the first days like when you came here, when it comes to like stress and being overwhelmed? Because for me I was kind of very much overwhelmed when I came here, because everything was new and I still was not only jet lagged, but also like felt the repercussions of my preparation. How was that for you?
It's definitely tired and a little bit overwhelmed, but I also was expecting to be a little bit overwhelmed just because it is a new place and we're learning everything new. But after like the day we went to the tea field all together and shaded, I was like, the overwhelmness was like kind of gone. Not gone, like in that instant it was gone. There was other things that I was getting overwhelmed, like learning tea tour and stuff. I was a little bit more overwhelmed. But after a while I like learned my own way and it's fine. But when we were all in that, it was just like, oh, we're here. It's like a peace of mind type of thing. It was very nice.
I wasn't jet lagged. I slept. I had like a no jet lag issues. I slept fine my first night in the hotel in Osaka, and I think coming here, it's impossible not to have expectations, right?
Yeah.
Kind of. I mean, especially for me, I don't know about you guys, but I watched like almost all of the content on YouTube.
Yeah.
Like, almost all of it.
Yep.
And I was like, I'm gonna get to see George, Aki-san.
I can meet these
I
people.
get to meet these people.
It's like they're famous.
Kind of had like a parasocial relationship with them already.
Yeah.
I mean, you also tuned into the hand rolling event.
I was
as well.
watching the
I did
lives
see
too.
that. Yeah.
So I mean, and part of that was me like. I think when I was already trying to like prepare and like get as much information as possible because I knew I was gonna come as well, and yeah, I mean, when I arrived, it was just like Kayo-san was the first person. She
Same for me
was
as
she was
well,
in the
yeah.
doorway, and she's so warm and so sweet, and yeah, checked me into my room and yeah, felt very welcoming. but the whole thing was just very overwhelming. I think when we started like learning.
And we really jumped in with like harvesting.
Yeah, I
and
mean
stuff.
everyone was already like, go, like spring harvest,
Because
and
it was spring harvest, so.
yeah. I think similarly when I did the first harvest my first harvest was with Alex and Aki-san at Monzen. And we were harvesting it was shelf style, so tane, shelf style shading, and I think it was, I'm not sure if it was going to become Kabuse or Gyokuro, but
If it's shelf style, it should be.
yeah, but I think it might have been, I can't remember. But
At least
there
for
was a
Obubu,
moment
yeah.
when I was like looking out, and it's like this is doing the thing that I saw in the videos.
Yeah.
This is what I came here to do. This is
it.
and I think the magic of that moment, it felt very emotional, and even with all of the stress, it was just like, yeah, it doesn't matter. This is amazing. This is gorgeous. This is exactly what I was looking for. Yeah, and it was very beautiful. Definitely something that I will remember for a long, long, long time.
I literally experienced like the same
Yeah.
thing. I guess it was at Tenku with Patrick. And that was where I first got to be the assistant while harvesting, and I was switched out by Mac, I guess. And then I had time to have a look at the view. And I was standing there in the tea field, and I was looking over Bazooka, and I was like, oh, that is... I'm actually doing it, because for me it took so many months to prepare all of that and to get into, oh, I'm actually going to do it now. I'm going to do it now. So to overpower that kind of anxiety is maybe not the perfect word to describe that, but essentially it is anxiety to really do what you want to do now and to quit your job and all that kind of stuff. And in that moment, that felt so great, because it gave me the feeling that I did the exact thing I always wanted to do for years now. And I finally broke free from the chains, so to speak, and I just did it, which not many people do, I guess, in general. That was good.
Yay! I'll drink to that.
Oh yeah,
Cheers.
kampai!
Bye.
Kampai, gotta look each other in the eye, in the eye, in the eye. Don't cross your arms.
It's such a funny thing that you're making us do.
I learned all of this when I was in Vienna. All of these interesting tactics for making sure that you cheers the right
for
way.
like alcohol, not tea.
Well, you just want to play it safe, you know. Take all of the traditions and put it together. Yeah. I mean, for me, I was kind of expecting that we were just going to be thrown into things already. I'm kind of used to that because I'm a scientist by training, and at least in lab work it's very common, because you're usually taught how to maybe do something once, or if nobody knows how to do it, you just find a protocol online and then you try to do it yourself. And if you can't find things, you just ask people. So it's very similar to like what we go through with like T-Tour, for example. Like if we don't know, if we went through it once in training, and then afterwards, like when you do it yourself, if you forget like, oh, where do I find like, I don't know, the T's or something like that for T-Tour, you can just ask somebody. So in a lot of respects, there are some similarities and overlap there with lab work. What I think I underestimated was how much prep is required for the T-Tours. So that probably came as a surprise, but I don't think I was really too stressed out by that, to be honest. I'm just like, as long as I do my best, it's kind of fine.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Did you guys know like what Tea Tour was about before you came here? Because
A little bit.
I knew that there were tea tours, but I had not watched every video they had.
Me neither.
Didn't really know what to expect.
A tiny bit.
Yeah.
I knew a tiny bit about it. I didn't know fully.
I feel like there's not a lot of videos about the tea tours specifically. Like a lot of the content is like videos like this where the interns are talking about their experience, or how to brew whatever,
It's
or
not-
like
it's not like
tidbits of Aki-san in the factory, or
I mean, tea tours. Yeah, I think that's kind of the part where I didn't know how much it entailed. Like the various moving parts, like, talking to guests, bringing them to the tea field, showing them the factory. These are things I didn't know about, but it was the same thing with farming as well, because I have completely no farming experience. So to me, it was more or less the same thing, and I was just, I'm gonna learn stuff.
I love sharing things that I enjoy with people, and seeing them get to experience the things that I enjoyed about the thing that I'm sharing. And like I feel like tea tour is like it kind of feels like cheating. Like you get to see that moment and kind of like help them realize and experience that stuff. And when you do get to see that, and you see that person having that same experience that you had, that I feel like is very rewarding to me. Yeah.
I mean, I generally enjoy like the communication aspect of things, like being able to, like you said, share things that I love with people, and also being able to convey that excitement as well. So if I'm able to spread that enthusiasm, it's a pretty rewarding experience. It was the same thing also with my scientific work.
What is your favorite thing to do at Obubu? Like, is it tea tour, or is it farming, or is it insider work?
Easy
Like,
question.
what is it? I say farming, but I've done the most of farming. I do love tea tour, but I feel myself in farming. Like, I love farming. I love watching the tea and processing.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you
I-
between farming and processing.
Probably processing. But in my head, farming and processing are like the same, because you're scheduled for the same thing. But processing, like the hojicha, this is the tea I know how to make from from the fields to your cup. And I can make it,
So cool.
which is crazy.
With the help of
Lady Deborah.
Lady Deborah. Why
The
is it Lady
hojicha
Deborah?
roast.
Because
Why is it Lady Deborah?
we were talking about it, and they're like, we need to name it, and I was like, oh, Deborah. I don't know why. It just came to my mind, and I was like, it's now Lady Deborah.
No arguments here.
So now it's forever Lady Deborah.
Yeah. The harvesting is obviously glamorous. I think. I mean, just like.
Glamorous, as in like you enjoy it. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like it's just like you're out there on the field, on the mountainside. Aki-san is so exuberant, and it's quite the unique experience. But I mean, I feel like everything is here. I love the morning meeting. I love the
It's so
schedule,
nice.
going over the schedule with Hiro-san, and everyone is getting pumped, and we're laughing, and
Or
we're
we cheer for garbage.
everyone cheers.
Soft plastic!
Soft plastic!
Yay!
Yeah, that's a very specific flavor of Obubu, I feel like. The same thing with the teas. I feel like everything here has its own value in contrast with each other.
Yes.
I love the harvesting for obvious reasons. Everyone loves the harvesting. I love and hate the chaos of insider days, but it feels really good to be like, I did this, and then I did that, and then I did this,
Yeah,
and
'cause
then
it's
we
like
did
a
that,
bunch
and
of
then
side quests together.
yeah, side quests.
Side quests.
Yeah. I think my favorite thing at Obubu is having special moments with the staff here. So like anytime that you are just enjoying the day, regardless of what the task is, when you are experiencing a moment with whoever that person is, you know, something goes wrong, and that
As you know,
is
many
fun.
things
As you know,
happens.
many things happen. Please enjoy.
Please enjoy
I was just
Japan.
reminded of when the steaming machine
When,
spilled
yes.
over.
It loves to do that.
It does.
And
Steaming
Hiro-san just said like, "Oh, sometimes this happens."
It
We
happened
were
when
like, this halted production or processing for like 30
Yeah.
minutes.
Yeah.
It was just very.
Yeah, Tel and I are
Most
like,
calm.
the end of the world has now come. There's water on the floor of the factory. The
Don't
police are on their way.
factory.
And Hiro-san is just like squeegeeing, like happily squeegeeing along.
Oh, I've done that a few times.
Yeah.
I have to mop up the entire factory because something's leaking.
Mystery leak.
Mystery.
Well.
Liam.
Wheel. For me, it's essentially the same thing. That was a good point. Like when you connect to people in a not superficial way, but when something happens and you kind of get that genuine connection. That's what I love most, not about Obubu, but in general. Yeah, that happened a couple of times with many different people, despite the day-to-day work. There were those moments, and those moments kind of make everything else that I don't like as much, for example, T-Tour, worthwhile, because it doesn't matter. Like if you, in the end of the day, you had like a T-Tour with 20 people and you were completely overwhelmed, and then 6 people were added mid-session and you had to adapt and you were mashed potato, but then you have like one of those genuine moments, everything's fine, because that's just the greatest thing for me. But back to like what is the favorite activity. I feel like for me it needs T-Tour, which I don't really like. I enjoy it sometimes, and I need that every once in a while to be reminded of the contrast, because if you only do one thing and you don't know the opposite end of the spectrum, that will just get boring. And so I like it that it's a mix. That sometimes I'm insider, sometimes I'm harvesting and sweating.
Yeah.
And then I'm back on T-Tour. But still, if I were to choose, I would be out in the fields. Like the first time, or the first few times I was in the fields, I came back like that.
Just blissed
I
out.
was
Coming
just blissed
home,
out
laying on
because-
tea bags on the back of the truck. It's
Yeah.
just
Yes.
because that was the stuff that I came here for, and that was very, very, very nice. Yeah, would do that again straight away.
I think all of the intensity and overwhelm and things that we experienced with the spring season, just peak tourism, peak harvest, peak processing, the bunch of marathon nonstop, bunch of processing marathon,
fun.
Just harvesting so much, and
Yeah.
Tencha harvest being just absolutely insane. Like I would immediately
I would come back.
do it again, and I would recommend to any person to try to hit the spring, because I just feel like so lucky that we got to process
You see so many
different
things,
kinds
yeah.
of tea
Yeah.
and see so many phases, and really like see this place, because even though things are going wrong and people are showing up and people are not showing up and, you know, all kinds of many things happen, you know, when everyone is working together, the sense of accomplishment that you feel at the end of the day is incredible, you know, and with people who are, you know, I feel so close to all of you guys, and it's only been it's barely been 3 months, you know.
But of staying with each other constantly.
We never have breaks. We are one.
Well, Till has privacy.
Yeah, he has an apartment.
I have a room. You have a room too.
All right, buddy.
Sure.
Yeah, your room is like twice the size of even the biggest room like elsewhere in Obubu.
I don't have a desk though.
That's true. Wait,
I have like
I think-
Chabudai.
kotatsu.
Alright.
Yeah, I mean, I also have a kotatsu only. I don't have a chair, and you have a nice fancy chair now.
You have to talk,
And
right?
he doesn't have
Yeah.
a restroom. It's
You have full
That's
tatami.
true. He doesn't have a restroom.
I don't have full
have a
tatami.
restroom.
And it
I
has to
just
be
have
super,
part
super
I
quiet.
don't
tatami.
have Wi-Fi. I have to be super quiet. Like
get a
at,
big room.
You get a
at
big
9
room
PM.
and a balcony.
that you can never use because
I
it's like
also
97% humidity.
balcony, but
Oh,
Mori.
favorite thing.
Oh my god.
Oh yes.
Yes.
New.
My favorite thing is tea tour. Very easy to answer.
Yeah.
But my main reason for that is more of like I came here with a purpose about learning more about tea. And I think I learned the best from kind of like discussions. So it's nice when I'm hearing like, because I come in with like really like beginner level knowledge when it comes to like tea. So it's nice to also be interacting with like sometimes other beginners, or because the guests sometimes, like most of them are usually on the beginner side. Then there's also some which are kind of like intermediate knowledge. Sometimes you get experts as well. So it's very cool to hear what kind of questions they, you know, come up with. And I definitely learn way more because I'm not the only person on the tour as well.
Yeah.
There might be an assistant, or there is the brewer as well.
Yeah.
And when they answer those questions, I learn a lot. And the other experiences around it that come specifically, I think, with the spring season primarily, also like enriches the tea tour experience. So they kind of feed into it. So I know more about like, you know, what happens in the field, what happens in the factory. So yeah, for me, I would say it's definitely the tea tour that I love the most when it comes to the activities in Obubu.
I really like what you were saying about getting to hear everyone's kind of like answers, because you get a lot of the same questions over and over again, but different people answering them. So between the staff and the assistant managers, you're getting all of the bits of information that they really like to add to the experience for Tea Tour, and that really, that really kind of fills out all the answers to be well-rounded and really like comprehensive, and then we're leaving this place with
A lot of knowledge. I mean, it's still the tip of the iceberg, but
For sure.
it's a
Yeah.
very nice
You
like
can go
starting
into-
ground to like go elsewhere to explore other things as well.
Tea is one of those things though where it's like the more you know, the less you know, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
it's
because
like-
like the more you realize, the more you're just like, I just don't know anything. Like the more information that you get, you're just like, wow, like this is just so big.
I feel like that's the case for like everything.
Yeah.
But the difference here is like how you respond to that afterwards. Like, do you like the fact that there are more unknowns or less unknowns?
I think it's exciting to
Yeah,
feel
I
like
It's a-
personally
Yeah.
feel at least it's
It's
very
something
exciting.
that you can
to know.
always find more information about.
And it's
'cause
exciting
so
to know
different.
that there is so much more to be found out.
Yes.
And as much as I personally love diving into things like with my mind and really like cutting up the information into small pieces and absorbing that, like learning everything about compounds in tea and all that stuff. In the end of the day, when I drink a tea and I know all of that, it does not make my experience a nicer one of the tea, but I feel like for me the most important thing when it comes to tea is not knowing all of that, but it's being able to sit there and really enjoy what you're actually drinking and not I'll just generalize that. What we probably all do in modern times, like everything moves so fast that you essentially drink a beverage on your way to work, or you don't have time to sit down and really just drink a tea, but you're constantly distracted from what you're doing there. And so for me, the best thing about tea is really sitting down, concentrating only on the taste and the smell, the color of the tea, and just enjoying that and nothing else.
And what's happening, right?
And maybe also what's happening when you have, like, I don't know, sometimes I drink tea in nature, and then I just sit there and I just enjoy myself drinking a nice cup of tea. But in the end, you will never be able to, like, pin down the essence of what that tea actually is, because it's just not something you can put into words or write down, or
But you will know that feeling.
you will, you can put it that way.
I'm looking forward to having a matcha in the States and remembering being here, looking out, listening to the birds, feeling all of the things that I feel here, and being able to remember that and having that attached to drinking the matcha and tasting the matcha and whisking the matcha and all of those things.
Learning how to whisk matcha
Learn, yeah.
properly, and just whose favorite matcha is what, and stuff like that.
I know what. I'm sorry. You wanna go ahead?
I feel like what I'm looking forward to the most is doing what I said 2 minutes ago, with like every tea that Obubu has to offer, because I feel like here, when we're drinking tea all day every day, it's not the specific tea has no importance, even if that's maybe a bit harsh, but it's not that it makes a difference whether I'm drinking Spring Sun or Kaze no Sencha or whatever, because it's just a tea, and I'm not really getting the differences, because I'm just drinking the tea, and at the same time I'm writing something on my laptop. It's not that I'm really experiencing the tea itself, and I'm looking forward to having the time and the serenity to just sit down and do that with all those teas that I explored here, like Mijiro, Sencha of the Wind, Sencha of the Earth, Spring Sun, Wakocha.
She's gonna list off all the teas.
Stop! We gotta stop him now.
Don't do all of
to
them.
the magic house, and I'm like, take many teas with me probably.
Yeah. What's the favorite is Wakocha.
Okay.
So are you gonna get more of that tea than the rest, or are you gonna?
I mean, I can always order, so
And we're making our own.
probably, and
Maybe.
we're making our own, so
I'm not gonna want to drink mine for I'll try it, but I'm gonna want to wait a year.
Yeah.
I'm gonna save the majority of it for a year, because I just feel like it's like a lot of the people who made tea when they were here, and then we found the tea later, and we're like, oh, this tea is amazing, and then they're like, yeah, that tea was gross. Like, okay.
Yeah, that is true.
You had to see the evolution of it.
Yeah. Let's shake it up a little bit. Favorite kombini?
7-Eleven.
Lawson's.
sorry.
I mean, I gotta go with Lawson just because.
It's just like it's our homeboy.
That's
It's
it's
here.
like an old friend.
Yeah,
but
but
always there
that's
for
the
you.
old
like
friend.
the entire internship we have
No,
done there.
And
so
I feel like we
often.
owe it. I feel like, hear me out.
We owe it
I feel like we
respect?
owe it to the staff that have
Oh
to
my
deal
God.
with all of the interns who come to Obubu and show up
They're
there.
so nice people.
Yeah.
The one
They're
Lawson
And
so
deal
from
with us.
Wazuka.
They deal with us.
There's like
And-
those two sides, right? For me, when it comes to into pure necessity, into pure practicality, practicability, whatever.
Yeah.
Getting fancy.
Word.
Hojicha's
Little
kicking in.
Then it's 7-Eleven, but when it's about my favorite konbini that I've been in here so far, that I actually have a connection to, then it's Lawson's, and of course it's the guy who we're harassing at like 10
But it's
p.m.
that specific Lawson's, not the
And
chain
he
itself.
just
No,
is
mine's the
kind
chain
and just
itself.
laughs.
The
and-
chain itself or Lawson's?
I
knows
just like
this.
the food better there.
I don't know.
Their pre-made food is, I feel like.
I'm really
It's
biased.
divisive.
I just like the
Divisive
smoothies
subject.
from
Yeah, that's why I
7-Eleven
knew that's why
because
you
I'm
liked it.
desperate for fruit at a reasonable price, and the fruit smoothies from 7-Eleven are like the main source of
Is
it
that
all.
fruit, Amanda?
It is fruit. It truly is.
The question is also like when it comes to pre-made food, and we're talking about like the shiokombu guy
Oh yeah.
and the
yeah.
onigiri from that company. Whatever konbini has, that is my favorite konbini. And when it comes to like vegetables or everyday stuff you need for cooking, Lawson's is not. It's not good. Like
Well,
you
it's a
only have
convenience
like
store.
a carrot and I don't know, some scallions. That's it.
Scallions.
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 Some scallions. Some spring onion.
Green onion. Yeah.
Onions.
Favorite memory on Obubu's lake farm? Any?
Obubu farm.
Impossible.
Oh, probably the chakabuki then.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
That was on Obubu premises, so that was a tea tasting thing that Sarah, one of the assistant managers, set up.
She put so much love into that, and she was
Yeah.
so excited, and it was
It
amazing.
was a great day. It was
And
so
having
fun.
Lucas as previous intern, having him show up, and then Jordan destroyed all competition. Well, no, you and Lucas are like neck and neck.
Yeah, it's only
I was
because
1 point behind
No.
Lucas. Lucas was 1 point behind.
All right.
Jordan.
I did horribly.
Okay.
Whoa. See this?
yeah.
Still holding on to some emotions here.
I would say for me, it's the first time I made my own tea, like with my own bare hands. When the first real oolong I had made, like I don't know what I even should call that, because it was not white tea, it was not an oolong, it was nothing.
It was tea.
It was uncategorizable. But the first oolong where I found like Pau's sun-withered leaves on the conveyor belt, and I made that like during the late Aki support shift. I was in between when the boiler was filling up. I was like hand rolling it, and then I dried it in the pan. And then on the next day, I taste tested that thing, and it was good. It was actually good. I was like, oh shit. I did that
was
with my own hands. That is very cool. That was a very rewarding feeling. And then I thought, let's do that again. Hopefully that's gonna happen. A new oolong.
Oolong. I think mine would be the day that me and Miko and why am I spacing?
Mimoko?
Mimoko. I don't know why I'm spacing on her name.
Shame on you.
I'm so sorry. I'm tired.
We're all tired.
We went to. We were on Aki support, and in the morning I was the morning Aki support, and it was raining, so we were just trimming. It was during spring harvest, so we haven't trimmed before. This was the first time we were trimming, and it's pouring down raining. So me and Morocco were wet, and like after lunch we changed into new clothes, and then we picked up Miko for the night shift, and we went and we're driving to Samana, and tree in the road, And we were like, okay, let's move this tree, let's do it. And we all together moved this tree, and it wasn't like a tiny tree, it was actually like a huge tree, and we're like trying to kick off branches to make it easier. We finally moved the tree out of the road, and then we drive up to Samana, and we're parking, and our tire goes off the edge. And we were literally, I flashed before our eyes, and we were like so scared. And we're like, let's get out of the car, let's try to. So we got out of the car, and we're like, yeah, it's definitely off the edge. So Miko came up with a plan to put a piece of wood under the tire and pull it off the edge. And we tried, and it failed, and we're like, why is it, like, it's not doing anything, it's just burning rubber. And we look up, and the other tire is, like, kind of off. So we had to put wood under that as well. And then after this, we're like, okay, let's try. And I was picking up and pushing the car, and Miko's pushing the car, and the car's driving. We finally got it up, and we're all just like,
Wow.
And then we deep trimmed.
And then
Just casually continue with Aki support,
Yes,
deep
but
trimming.
that's just like how
There's
we
many
worked
things
together. It
happening.
was just like, we did it. It was such a fun story too. We all felt accomplished. We did it.
The rain thing reminded me of another cool story. I was at Monzen with
Me?
Maku and Jordan.
Mhm.
Who
Jordan.
else was there?
Yeah, I was like piecing together. Who was it? And it was pouring down. Everything was wet, and there was mist all around, or clouds. I don't know. And the bags were the heaviest they ever were,
so
like I don't know, 30 kilos or something. And I just had a blast, not because of the bags being heavy,
It
but
was
because
just
of the rain, the atmosphere,
It
and
was,
the fact that you're doing it anyways.
yeah, it was so
That was
fun.
cool.
It was
Then
one
with
of my
Aki-san
favorite days.
slipping and the whole thing, I slipped like
I think we
don't know
all
how
fell
many
that day a couple times.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but like the accomplishment of we did it anyways,
Yeah.
and even though those conditions were so far from optimal, and we killed it.
We did it.
That was good.
Yeah.
I would do it again. 10 out of 10 would do again. But sorry, cut you off.
Yeah, Spencer. Yeah.
Oh man. Too many. I feel like I'm gonna remember even more things just as I think back on my time here. I think just the feeling of people's personalities here, like Hiro-san like casually doing something that's probably a little bit dangerous.
Just a little bit dangerous.
Like,
And
Total
walking
dangerous.
past somewhere, and he's like Tabi shoes on the roof,
Yeah.
like like rearranging like a cable or something, or like
The Ethernet or
oh
Ethernet
yeah, when the
cable.
internet went out, yeah, and he's just like, I'm gonna fix this right now, yeah,
And then he knocked on Jocelyn's window,
and you can hear
and she was like, "Oh my god!" Something. She was not happy about that.
so good.
And then he just went through her window. And everything was so casual. He was like, "Oh, Jocelyn,
No, I don't know.
please open the
Sumimasen.
window." Sumimasen.
Yeah.
Yeah, or him kicking the wasp nest.
Oh yeah,
my
you're describing the what
No,
happened
No,
to
he took his sickle, his kamat, and then just slashed it off of the fence, and then
yeah.
he kicked like wasps midair.
Then realized that
ran
he should be
away.
using a spray instead for the wasps.
Yeah.
Those are the like that.
Yeah.
The casuality of how he's doing things, and like the most natural way for him,
Yeah.
which are where other people would say, you are insane. That I like that so much. That's what makes him like very, very stand out. A special person.
Yeah.
I'm gonna remember that for a long time, I guess.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So that your favorite is like Hiro-san being a little bit
I
crazy?
think just any of those moments. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
I don't have anything specifically because they all mean something different to me. Like when there's the roads closed for the landslide and Miyako-san and I are making conversation as we have to drive all the way around and up the other side of the mountain instead of just going up the hill to the field. You know, I think like moments like that, or like Aki-san and I doing the deep trimming on Tenku, and it's like so hot and so stormy at the same time, and on the steepest slope, and I saw the biggest mukade that I'd ever seen, and I was like, that's not an insect, that is the guardian of Tenku. That is the end boss. That is the final boss. That's a kami. That's a kami. That's not a bug. I mean, yeah, I don't know. All that.
Did you ride on the back of the truck?
Yeah, and it's funny because if you watch any of the intern videos, I feel like everybody always talks about riding in the back on the tea
when
bags.
else do you do
I mean,
that?
it's a beautiful
Did
thing.
you even fall asleep on the back of the truck?
Yep.
I did.
I didn't fall asleep on the back of the truck.
On the edge, I was like, oh.
I most certainly did
laying
for
on
at
the
least a
tea.
few minutes on the tea
I was
bags.
laying on the tea, going back from a tea field, and I'm just like, those tea field roads, and it's just like,
You kind of just rocked
rocked
into
to sleep.
Yeah.
Very comfortable. Bed.
No, I definitely had been completely laying down and just looking up at the trees.
It's so pretty.
Yeah, knowing kind of like at what point in the drive I'm at.
Yeah, just by the trees.
Even just by I think.
Yeah.
Anytime I saw animals, I'll always remember that. I mean,
Favorite
Oh,
animal?
seeing the Meijiro as well was a thing.
I
Still
saw
haven't
that
seen
on
it, yeah.
Philosopher's Path. It's like a goal, and then you guys saw it like
I saw it
2 days before.
I saw it in the cafe. So I think it's a cafe that claims to be the oldest continuously running tea shop in Japan. I think they have some claims about that.
wow.
In Uji. And we were just sitting in the cafe there, and it's like right by the river in Uji. And that's when like I saw it together with I think Sarah and Alex. We saw the little Meijiro just flying around with the
cool.
hydrangeas.
Yeah.
It was very pretty. Yeah.
There's so
Monkeys
many.
are crazy.
Yeah,
Seeing
the
those
macaques.
so close.
The macaques, yeah. I was in the Daihatsu with Aki-san, and there was a macaque, and we stopped, and the macaque looked at us.
You looked back at the
And then
macaque.
Aki-san's like looking at the... Yeah, that was good. I mean, so many times we saw the monkeys.
Yeah, I walked into our house and there was monkeys fighting next to our house, and I didn't realize there was monkeys because it just sounded like a bunch of like and I was like, what is that? So I look over and it's actually 2 monkeys, and they jump up, sit on our railing, and look at me. I'm like running inside because I don't know they're gonna fight a monkey.
You had that moment too, didn't you?
I took pictures of them when they were sitting there,
Mm-hmm.
and to be honest, I kind of like hunting mode kicked in. But
Just
with
casually.
a camera, okay, with a camera, not with a bow.
That's why we call you the Bushman.
And then I was slowly sneaking up on them, and I was on the tea field. It was slightly drizzling, and they were like the biggest portion of the pack was there on the road, and I was going through the field to slowly advance and hopefully get a nice picture. And then all of a sudden, a monkey came up the the stairway and was just like 3 meters away from me, and I was like, oh, I need to adjust my camera, and then he was like off and went into the forest on the far side of the field and sat there behind a tree and was like watching me, and then he was like then watching me again while I was standing in the field, and that was kind of nice. I like that.
Had a moment with the monkey.
Yeah,
Monkey whisperer.
But my favorite animal in Japan is probably actually crows, because
The crows?
The crows, because they are so smart.
They sound
They're so big here, and I don't know. I just like them when they're sitting there on a pole and they're just
Having a squawk.
I'm just entertained by
having
them. They just sound too
all the
accurate to
monkeys.
like all the enemies and whatnot. It's just hilariously
I actually
accurate.
don't like how they sound. It's kind of creepy.
I love it. I think during one of the tencha harvests, it was in Monsen, and you could hear this crow was just on the other side of the tree line, and he was so loud, and we're working away, and he's just having a fit about something for like 10 minutes, and I just couldn't stop laughing because it was, I don't know why, it was so funny to me, and Miko's like looking at me like, you need to calm down and focus on what you're doing, and I'm just like, he's so funny. What is he saying? I don't know. We saw that hummingbird hawk moth. Do you remember that? Did you guys see one of those?
I don't think I did.
It's a moth.
I think
It's
I
a
only
moth
saw
that looks like a hummingbird.
Oh.
I
And
only saw
they look like a hummingbird, like the way that they
I am
feed
not.
on flowers.
The butterflies here are
Oh.
crazy.
Big black butterflies.
Yeah.
Those ones
There's
are insane.
purple butterflies in prison
Mm.
that they're so pretty. It's so pretty.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Do we have a final question that we want to try to?
Muscle our way through. What is the origin of Amanda's accent?
What is the origin of Amanda's
I'm
accent?
just reading the question off of your phone.
That is a very good question. I don't know.
I also wonder the same thing. I don't know.
You're from Minnesota.
Minnesota? I was gonna say
Secretly
Wisconsin.
from Minnesota.
Oh,
Okay, never
it
been
could
there.
be both.
Never been there either.
Yeah.
It's a
Oh
mystery.
God.
What will you miss
What will I miss?
the most?
I'll miss everything. I'm not gonna leave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I miss everything.
When it comes to the country, or when it comes to Obubu, or
everything.
I think
everything?
it's really going to be very specific to
I
the,
would definitely miss the people here.
yeah, that's the people at the time that were here in Obubu.
Because, like, when we come back, it's not going to be the same.
Mm-hmm.
Different people, like, things, they change so often.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm gonna
Definitely
miss
agree.
the not especially the culture or the country, but rather like the essence of the culture, which I feel like is to do things with a sense of perfection and love, or attention to detail, and some sort of passion. I guess that because it's common to do that, it's not a real passion anymore, because people are forced to be that way. But like the essence of that, doing something with utmost care, and when you look at like teapots that are crafted in Tokoname, Bango, Shigaraki, and you have, or the pottery shop we visited, when you look at the precision with which people do their craftsmanship, that's definitely something that I don't experience, or never experienced in Germany, because everything is much more superficial, and in Japan it has more depth, and that is one of the biggest reasons
They're
why I'm
honoring.
in Japan, to to dive into tea, because that is actually what I would love to do in my life, or to be able to do. I'm trying to do that every day, but like to get that depth and remember when the tea house guy, who is also a potter, showed us his failed Kyusu. And
we just said, why is it a failure?
Yeah, it
where's
looks
the
perfect.
flaw? There is no flaw.
Yeah.
So that's the kind of thing that
It was like something funny, like the lid didn't fit.
I think
Smooth.
till you said that it was kind of like, it was like not quite even, the rim, so to speak.
I was like, I'll buy it.
Yeah.
So like
I
the
would also
bottom
buy it.
and the top part, the rim where the lid goes onto, they were not parallel. They were like slightly.
It was just a
off,
very
like
slight
half a
difference.
millimeter
Yeah.
or something. And he was like, no, that's not it.
Mosquito.
What is it called in Japanese?
Oh
Ka.
shit.
Ka.
Oh, just ka.
Ka.
Oh.
He's coming for you,
Ka.
too.
They love
Yeah.
me, you know.
I do love that. It's
What? That they love
no,
me?
no, no.
Because it's the sound you make when you notice them, right?
Ka.
It's like
No,
ka.
I meant I love what he was saying before this.
about the caring.
The caring for like their craft. Caring
Wait,
so much.
we'll have to
Get him,
solve this
Till.
problem first. Here.
I think since we have a giant door open, it's
Get him,
not
Till.
gonna be solved. More will come.
More will come.
Well, go on. So what
I
happened?
just because the only context that I have is within the United States, I think just the way that Japanese have respect for the people around them, the places around them, whether it's a stranger, whether it's traffic, whether it's trash, whether it's animals. You know, the animals here are bold because they don't really have anything to fear from the people. You know, the people drive respectfully. You know, everyone waves at each other and they move over the side so that you know, and like the people are sharing things. They're sharing spaces. They're sharing. I don't know. I think that's really just like an amazing thing, and I think that culture is something that the rest of the world could really do with. Speaking from my perspective as an American, yes, I love that.
But I mean, like what we experience here as well is also relatively unique to the location as well.
Totally.
Yeah.
Rural Japan.
Yeah, rural Japan. At least my general experience as well has been like super nice with the more rural parts of Japan
love
as
it.
well.
Yeah.
So nice.
Or at least the less busy parts, I would say,
Yeah.
for sure.
What are you gonna miss the most?
The guy was there.
The people.
I mean, I would say it's also a bit more than that. It's gonna be very cheesy, but I'm gonna use the favorite phrase that we start tea tours with, "Ichigo Ichie,"
I don't
which will translate into a once in a lifetime thing. I do think that it's a very special moment that I've gotten to experience here with like the group of people here, the time, what Obubu is at the current moment as well, and it would be a very like invaluable memory for hopefully the rest of my life.
Yeah.
Because after this, we're probably never going to do something like that again. Probably.
Maybe.
Well,
Nobody knows.
well.
Nobody knows.
We still have a long life ahead of us, right?
I hope we're all going to do something like
We
that
could all
again,
come back
but
here and visit, volunteer.
I mean,
Or
like,
we could
giving up everything and
we could go to different tea farms, you know, and just like
kind of
pop
thing.
around. Yeah.
not
This
like,
decision,
vacation.
what you mean
Yeah.
is this decision to
Yeah.
come here, this was the first time doing that, and that experience is
Yeah,
extra unique.
it's gonna be different.
Yeah.
And getting out of your common
Yeah.
ways and just doing what you love instead of doing something that just earns you money.
I mean, in my opinion, like, so like when I was writing my previous intern page,
Yeah.
I was also writing about why I chose to come to Obubu, and I have a very like simple motto, which is to spend time on things that I love. But I think more importantly is actually finding time for it, and I think it's similar to what you mentioned, Till. It's like, you know, making the time for it was what I valued the most, and I'm glad I did that with this internship as kind of like an example of it.
It's a bit like taking time for yourself because
Yeah.
you really want to do that. And most of the times we take time for everything, but not for what we actually want or for ourselves.
I view it a bit differently. It's just more of like, I feel like, you know, people, at least in my opinion, I feel like everybody has multiple interests. And knowing that you can make time for each and every one of them is important. You may think you don't, but you have to make time for each and every one of those. That's the only way you're gonna get to do it.
Yeah.
Yay!
Yay! We have 2 more weeks, guys. This is so weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
And I really need to pee. There
That's
was
good.
a lot of water.
Does anyone know whether the camera is still rolling?
That's my
No, don't.
Where did it stop?
I don't know.
No.